Morning, my respected teacher. My name is Mutasim Faiz. My role ID is 12304064. Today I am going to present a simple computer program in C. The program is built using switch statement. It can perform arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So moving up to our next slide. Now let's introduce ourselves with the C programming switch case statement. A calculator is a basic project in C programming. We demonstrate the switch case for multiple purposes. It helps us to understand a decision-making statement and C. Concept of switch case. We use switch case for multi-way branching, used to perform different operations like plus, minus, into, division. We generally use this on user demand. So in user demand, we use switch case to switch the operators like plus minus, as I said earlier, and provides a clean alternative and multiple if-else statement. So starting out our code with hash include .studio. The program includes studio.h is a library function which provides the functions like printf, scanf. We usually use printf for output and scanf for input from the user. Then we are gonna declare variables, and before that we're going to introduce a main function, and inside the brace we will write all the codes, and then we'll introduce the variable, and then we'll introduce declare variables char and int. Char for operators like arithmetic operators like plus, minus, division, multiplication, and int to introduce decimal numbers. We are gonna introduce it with number 1, number 2, and result. Obviously we're gonna get the results on decimal number. Then we're gonna give a message to the output that enter an operator plus, minus, multiplication or division to the users, and give the users to give an input with scanf, scan C or scan D, scan C for char and an operator. Then we're gonna give a message printf enter 2-digit to the users, and scan F. In the quotation we are gonna give percentage of D. What is the mean of percentage of D? The percentage D is a format specifier, and format is on decimal. Then to perform the calculation based on operator, we are going to give a statement, switch case statement, switch. We are going to switch the operators. That's why in the parenthesis we are going to give the operator, and inside the brace our case will start. The first case is case positive. The result will be calculated on number 1 and number 2 addition, and the print is gonna percentage of D plus percentage of D is equal, the result will also be in percentage of D, which is a decimal number, and the work will execute on number 1, number 2, and the result. Then we are going to use a break statement. What is the use of break statement? If the case 1 executes, the break statement immediately get him out of the loop and publish the result to the user. If the break case isn't used, overall the case 1 is used, and it will immediately pull on the case 2, case 3, case 4, which does not give the specific result the user want. And the next slide, if the operator is negative, then the case 2 will start. If the operator is negative, it calculates number 1 subtraction to number 2 and store the result and print the equation. Similarly, for the case multiplication and division, not division, for multiplication, and if the operator is multiplication, it calculates number 1 into number 2 and store the result and prints the equation. Now the case comes division. If the operator is division, it first check if number 2 is not 0. If number 2 is non-zero, it calculates number 1 and number 2 and store the result and prints the equation. Now if the number is 0, it prints an error message. Error division is not allowed. Obviously it will give an infinite number, so it is not allowed. The division here is integer division, so the result will truncated to integer value, so we must take care of this. And the next comes the default. Now assume if the operator is not none of them, like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division is none of them, then it will print an error message, invalid operator. So now to execute that, we'll use the default and the printf to error invalid operation. And after that, to close the function, we are going to use the close the program, we're going to use the return 0. And after this, we're going to use the brace statement and to int the code. Now take a look at sample output. First it will command the users to enter an operator. So suppose that the users choose plus, then it will command the users to give two numbers. Obviously this should be in decimal numbers and in integer form. So he chose 10 and 5. Suppose if he execute it, it will give an output of 15. This is how it will work. Thank you guys for letting me explain how to build a calculator using SwitchCase.